Hey guys, I'm Matt.
And I'm Raymond.
So today, let's keep it local. Let's get it rolling. Hey guys, welcome back to Stogies and Broskies. So I'm gonna start with this cigar, and then I'll let Ray take it away. So we are smoking the La Gloria Cubana. I apologize, La Gloria Cubana. It's a S series Maduro. It's got Mexican and San Andreas. I'm guessing that's the basis of maybe the wrapper and the filler. I didn't do my research, but when we bought it, the guy at the store told us that it was the strongest cigar in the shop. And so we figured we'd give it a go.
All right.
Ray?
Well, today we are drinking in some RD1. It's our Jono's Liquor Private Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Jono Liquors is our local brick and mortar liquor store here. And this is a select they personally made to put in their store. It's 121 proof.
121.
That's not bad.
It's also got an Amburana finish, if I do remember correctly.
Yes.
Price tag was in the, I think, young 80s.
Yeah. Not too hateful.
Yeah, not too hateful.
Mm-hmm.
So since starting this, we have tried to do a lot more random bottle hunting, looking for just different bottles to try. Really kind of going on this bourbon and cigar adventure. And so the La Gloria Cubana, Jesus, I always keep messing it up. The La Gloria Cubana is something that we've never really messed with before. And then with Jono's, I actually found that bottle. I've been eyeballing it for a little bit. I keep going in there to buy one specific bottle. It's a limited batch. And so every paycheck I go in and buy one because it's my absolute favorite. And we're going to touch that later on in the future, because I think I've got like 7 bottles sitting here on the shelf right now. But I keep eyeballing this one. I've got a couple of RD1s back here. I think we already did a video on one. I think it was the green label.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was a Amburana finish as well. So the RD1 is I feel like it's a really good bourbon. I should have done my research on the history behind it. Somebody had told me that it was a old school label that rebranded. But I digress. I kept seeing this one. It was a Jono's Select. So like they went in and they picked it as their store pick. So we've got a friend, a TikTok friend. Her name is Heather. She loves her Amburana finish. And so I saw this and I instantly thought of her. I'm going to make sure that she gets a little bit of this so that way she can try it out. But I finally bought it. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and we just popped it this morning. So on the nose, I can already tell you, like, it's super, super sweet.
A lot of brown sugar.
Yeah, a lot of brown sugar. But we figured we kind of keep it local, talk about our local stores, local brick and mortars, and just kind of keep it local, keep it friendly, talk about some of our experiences and the relationships that we built.
Yeah.
What do you think about the cigar before we get into the bourbon, man?
So the way the guy explained this at the cigar shop, got it from. I believe we got this one from Sykeston.
We did get this from Sykeston.
Yeah. He said it was gonna be like one of the strongest cigars. He was like, eat a big meal, stuff like that before smoking. It's not as strong as he made it sound to me. Yeah, in my opinion.
I definitely I anticipated more on strength wise because I smoke strong cigars in general.
Right.
And so I really expected this to just kick me in the butt, right?
But yeah, it's actually not so bad. I think a lot of it with that Mexican San Andreas wrapper, that it makes it seem more intimidating than it actually is.
So flavor wise, when we opened it up, I smelled the cigar like I typically always do. A lot of people say, like, the people that do that is a little weird. I don't think so. I love the smell of the natural tobacco leaves, just in general. It's kind of like that appreciation to the the efforts and everything that went into creating this premium hand rolled cigar. On the nose, without lighting it, without doing anything, just pulling it out of the cellophane. I'm Southern. I'm from Central Kentucky. I love my sweet tea. I love black tea. I don't do the herbal teas. And so just the smell of the tobacco leaf itself smells like black tea. It doesn't not sweet tea, but just regular black tea. And so I found that really interesting. Super excited for
Not
it.
even like a brewed tea. Like if you were to like take the pack, like the tea pack or tea bags,
yep,
and you just smell that. That's the strong, notes that you get from it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so what's funny is after we've cut it and I've drawn into it, maybe an eighth of the way into the cigar at this point in time, I taste black tea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you taste. I taste black tea. And so like, I'm actually really excited about this cigar.
I don't get the black tea notes. The funny thing is the further into it I get, I'm actually starting to get like a sweet,
Really?
like
Okay.
hint. It's not like you have to really like try and pay attention to it.
Okay.
I think one of the more recent cigars that I smoked was a sweeter cigar, which kind of pulled my palate towards tasting that a little bit, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like there's like a slight sweet note, which might be the tea that you're tasting. I just don't taste the full effect of the tea
Sure.
aspect of it. But it's really it's not overpowering at all.
Right.
Like that sweetness that I'm tasting, it's there, but I'm still getting the earthy notes. A little bit of oakiness. Like I'm getting some like strong wood taste from it. But it's not hateful.
No, not at all. Like I said, it's not as near strong, and then maybe it's because it's early into the smoke, but the strength, the overall flavor profile isn't as strong as I expected it to be. So
right.
I'm nothing against our rep in Sykeston, because he's awesome and he's not serious wrong yet. Always enjoy going down there to see him, hang out with him for a little bit. Great cigar so far. Like I'm really interested to smoke this the whole way through to really kind of see how it develops.
Flavor notes change, and stuff like that.
So from Sykeston, let's kind of transition back into local. So John O's, absolutely love going to the John O's liquor stores. It's a small chain here locally. They have such a variety.
Their selection is amazing.
Yep.
So they do get a lot of those allocated bottles in that you'll see us purchase. And the reason we get a lot of our purchases from there, because we've got quite a few local liquor stores to us. But John O's is the one that we typically try and stick with, because his prices are relatively decent.
For the most part. Some of the allocated bottles, I mean, he does have up there, but what he does to try to compensate for the higher prices, he does a double bottle pick.
Double bottle pick, yeah.
We talked about it before with the Blantons.
We did the Blantons, and then we have a bottle of Thomas S. Moore back here that I was able to purchase together.
Yep.
And it brought the pricing down to
closer to
the retail value of the bottles, which made it justifiable to purchase, which I understand. You can't knock on, them doing this stuff, because they have to make a living.
Absolutely.
And that's how they make their money.
They compensate. So, they take maybe a not as well-known bottle and tie it in with a rare allocated bottle. So it allows you to enjoy the allocated bottle that you wanted, and then try something else that maybe you wouldn't have got.
Because I had never heard of Thomas S. Moore.
Me either.
We'll be doing a video on that here soon, because it's been sitting back there. We haven't done anything with it. So, but I've had a couple drinks out of it. It's not bad.
It's not hateful, but I definitely don't want to focus on that one yet today.
Nope.
So let's get into this nose, get into this beverage, and then we'll continue with keeping it local here. On the nose, so I've been nosing this the whole time. It's sweet,
so sweet.
It is just,
and it's crazy because on the nose, like you're not getting any harshness from it.
No, not at all.
So because I think it's a 4-year age.
It's a 4+ year is what it says, with a 60.99% alcohol at 121.98 proof. So I mean, it's a stout proof. Man, I'm super excited to get into this. Let's see here. It says barrel number 2. So yeah, let's get into this. I feel like it's aired out, and breathed a little bit. I've been breathing it.
A lot of brown sugar is what I'm getting from
yes, sir.
Nose from it. So let's get into this.
Man, that's sweet through and through.
Yeah, you get that Kentucky hug going down.
You do, but I mean, at 122 proof,
I've had 100 proof or 90 proof that didn't go down this season.
Right. I mean, and it stays true to that sweetness on the nose.
It does. That the nose of it really matches all the way through. You're getting a lot of like I said, brown sugar already.
Yeah.
That but there's another.
You getting some caramel in there?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm trying to pull out. But
I'm getting some floral notes too. But again, I don't want to kind of stick to the tasting, because our palates still are fairly uneducated.
Yeah.
As far as like pulling out those notes, but it's exciting and interesting from being on this side of the camera and this side of the adventure, with where we are actually trying these different bourbons and trying to pull out from an uneducated sense what we're tasting. So it's fun, and it's just something like you guys are witnessing us kind of develop. Yeah.
Because from the first bottle to moving on to this, we've started being able to pull out some better notes that I know I wouldn't have been able to really draw from originally. Same with the cigars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, like originally, if I would have smoked this even 6 months ago, that sweet note that I'm getting from it, I probably wouldn't have been able to find that because of the powering notes of the rest of it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's really cool. It makes you really want to think about, and that goes back to the cigar journals that we have.
Yep.
That will allow me to look back and see, like, if there was a cigar that I got these notes from 6 months, a year down the road, have another one of those cigars and see how those notes might have changed from my palate because of how much it might have changed over the time, which I think is a really cool aspect to what we're doing here.
Absolutely. And, and that just affirms, our concept with the journals, and really kind of makes me want to push harder on getting those journals created. So that way, like you said, from here now we're smoking this La Gloria Cubana, 6 months, a year down the road, maybe we can try it again and just see the development of our palate, the development of our taste, and it can be really exciting, really fun.
Because our first video, the 5 Vegas.
Yep.
Seems
like yesterday.
Dude, it feels like we just made that video.
Right.
But that was a couple months ago. It's insane. But the notes that we were getting from that, I think it'd be cool to try and order that one again and then do that in July of next year.
That could be fun.
That'd be really cool. And then we can all see how much
things have changed. That could be really fun.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay, so that was kind of a impromptu rant. Fun
thoughts.
It's a fun realization of our adventure. We keep calling it an adventure, and it's just a right in the moment realization of how things have developed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Wheezy, man. Wheezy, my boy Wheezy. Okay, so Wheezy owns our local brick and mortar cigar
smoke shop.
Yeah, Crown Smoke Shop, our cigar lounge that we have developed a lot of relationships.
Yes.
You saw us in the 708 episode We did a quick walkthrough of the downstairs of the shop of the humidor. Wheezy was in that video. Because of Wheezy, he has opened up the door to us, to my incredible wife,
and many other people around us.
Oh, absolutely. To be able to experience these premium rolled, hand rolled cigars, and to help us along this adventure. I mean, really, Wheezy was the reason why I even tried a 708 cigar in the first place.
Right.
And so, because him and his family have put together these shops, and it's not just one. I mean, he's got a handful of shops now in our local area, with a couple lounges here and there, with humidors that are growing. I talked to him the other day about the selections and everything, and he's trying to do the best that he can in the limited space that's provided in the stores. And our our Elizabethtown local Crown Cigar Lounge, he's got more SKUs in that shelf than he does in the Shepherdsville lounge.
And one's like twice the size.
That humidor is twice the size. Yeah. So my wife is giving me the big eyes, like she didn't understand, she didn't realize. So I had a sidebar conversation with Wheezy. I'd impromptu just walked in to grab a cigar while I was at work. And, we were talking, and I was like, how incredible would it be to have this humidor in Elizabethtown? And like, he obviously agreed, because he sells more cigars in the Elizabethtown area.
Yeah.
Cigars are really big and upcoming in Shepherdsville. He doesn't have the sales yet, but it is growing. And so because he's developed these stores, it's really helped provide this experience to a lot of new individuals. And I feel like that's like our basis here doing this. We want to provide, uneducated education to people that, may not have ever thought about smoking a cigar, or may wanted to try a cigar, but just didn't know where to start.
Right.
And so
I think a big thing with what makes Wheezy's lounges and stores so approachable is because we've gone into a couple different lounges where there's certain lounges out there that you don't feel comfortable and you don't feel welcome.
The personability. Is that a word?
We're gonna make it a word.
We're gonna make it a word.
But yeah, like that is exactly how we stand with that, because you walk into a random store, you've never been in there before,
don't know anybody,
don't know a soul in that building. The way the employees talk to you, how they address you when you walk into the
customer
store,
service.
The service alone will make or break a lounge.
Yep.
And then the atmosphere that you get when you walk into the lounge itself.
Right.
There's certain lounges that I've walked into the store, and you've got the storefront, the lounge is over to the side, and just from the atmosphere, I didn't even feel welcome walking into the lounge.
So I know exactly what he's talking about, because I was there with him.
Yeah.
We were on a road trip, and we walked in. He was looking at buying his very first pipe. We were looking at really stretching his pipe experience. And so I was in the passenger seat, and I was looking at these cigar shops, these smoke lounges and stuff. So that way I could help him or be a part of his very first pipe buy. Because we did a pipe video here, and he smoked one of my pipes.
Yep.
And so he wants to advance that experience. And so I found this one. It looked incredible. The humidor was absolutely massive. I saw they had pipe tobacco, they had pipes, a lot of cigar and pipe accessories. So we were excited to go. And we walked into the shop, and there wasn't a single person in the storefront.
Yeah. You didn't see anybody there running a register or nothing. We stood in the store, looked around all the cabinets and everything for
20 minutes.
And then we walked in the humidor, circled the humidor 3 or 4 times.
Not a single person.
Nobody walked in to the storefront until we were ready to purchase.
Yep. And that from that aspect, I didn't
even buy a pipe there. I bought a single cigar. Yep. That's what I bought.
He was looking at spending a couple $100 on pipe and tobacco and accessories to kick off that starter set. And I was looking at buying possibly a new pipe and a handful of cigars because there was stuff that was there that wasn't in our brick and mortar store, our local, Wheezy shop. And because there was no customer service whatsoever, I ended up buying 2 cigars and it was just because, it wasn't in a selection at our brick and mortar, and he bought 1 cigar. And so we ended up spending, I think, $30 total instead of $200, $300, $400 because that service wasn't there.
When you're comfortable, you feel more willing to spend that money and, enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
When you're enjoying yourselves, you tend to spend more. And like we said, there was probably a good 10, 15 people in that lounge.
In the lounge itself. We could hear them talk. There was tinted glass that separated everything. So we know that they saw us.
Yeah.
But they didn't come out. They didn't introduce themselves. They didn't approach us at all. And so, it really kind of deflated that experience. Where
then you walk into, we ended up walking into another one later that day.
Yep.
And you're greeted
the moment you walk in.
They were approachable.
They were educated.
Very educated. I ended up spending that couple $100 while I was there. I bought my pipe. I bought my accessories. He helped me choose my pipe. Gave me some tips on which ones were better for, first-time smokers. Then he walked into the humidor with us and showed us all of their local or their store-picked cigars.
Yep.
Then they were like, hey, we understand you can't stay and smoke with us, but go up to our lounge. And we walked into that lounge.
Oh,
the bartender greeted us as soon as we got off the elevator.
Yep.
We walked onto the rooftop lounge area, and there was people there having drinks, laughing, talking. You felt more welcome there.
It was that atmosphere.
That atmosphere really hits. And that's the kind of atmosphere that we have at Wheezy's.
At Wheezy's, yeah, absolutely. And so the people behind the counter, most of them, and I'm not going to say everybody because, a lot of people educate themselves on different aspects, the parts that they are more focused on, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of the people at Wheezy's shop are fairly educated, if not very well educated in cigars, to help you with your experience. And no matter what, whether they're educated or not, the moment that you walk in, you're getting greeted. The reps there have smiles on their face and are excited to help you with your adventure, with your experience. And then, if you go into the humidor, they ask you if you need anything. They allow you to browse, and then when you purchase, they always ask, "Are you going to go upstairs?" Which is where the lounge is. And so when you get up into our local brick and mortar, the lounge that we always go to, it is very comfortable. It's a very comfortable setting, and then the people that are up there make the experience.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing with I claim it as our lounge.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wheezy's lounge. We don't own any part of it, but when you feel that at home, when you're there, it becomes
a secondary
home. And the cool thing about the lounge that we have here is there's people up there. I'm probably one of the least experienced with cigars out of most of the people that go into that lounge. And then we've got people there that are extremely knowledgeable, and I can sit down with them, have a conversation, and I can learn so much from them, and you don't feel like you're getting judged.
Right.
I can walk up to somebody that I've met once or twice in the lounge and be like, hey, what's a good cigar that you feel like I would like, or that you feel I should try? And they'll walk down to the humidor with you and sit there and browse the humidor and make suggestions and, really build a relationship with you. And then it starts causing you to build better relationships with the people at that lounge.
Absolutely.
And you build a family there.
Yep.
Once the more you go to your local lounge, your local brick and mortar, you start feeling a lot more comfortable, and it allows you to enjoy your experience and your journey with cigars even more.
Oh, absolutely. So Friday nights have been our lounge nights for the longest time. And that's where I really got him involved in the lounge. And so building those relationships, he's gotten free cigars from the guys that he's talking about. I know exactly who he's talking about specifically. And I've gotten cigars handed to me from that guy. And he's like, hey, have you tried this? I bought a box just on a whim to try it. Would you like to try it with me? and he will hand you a cigar. There's another guy that we hang out with very often, and he's always bringing new bottles, new cigars, and like they are excited to help you along in your journey.
They're excited to share their experience with you.
Absolutely.
And the crazy thing is after like my second time of going in, you would have thought that I had been going there for years.
Absolutely.
With the way they approach me, you know, I walk in and people walk up with open arms, giving you a hug,
yep,
asking me where I've been, you know, really like it's the relationships build really quickly. And it makes you really feel welcome there.
Absolutely. And to me, like that's important in having a local lounge, having your local liquor stores, you know, when they start to recognize you when you come in and they have that friendly openness, it not only helps drive business for them, but it helps drive relationships. And for me, like friendships are not just me and you. Yeah. It's the people that I deal with, the sales reps and everything else. Like I try to build friendships and relationships with everybody that I deal with on a regular basis, because it makes everything so much more enjoyable. It opens up so many more doors. And yes, I'm in there to spend my hard-earned money. They're in there to make money, and I understand and I respect that. But to understand, or to be appreciated when you walk in. Hey, Matt, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. How's work going? Like they're invested in your life, and you become invested in their life, and it builds that relationship and that locality of having that brick and mortar store, whatever it is, whatever your choice is. You know, whether it be cigars, whether it be spirits, whether it be your vitamins and your health products. It doesn't matter what it is. It's building those local relationships that are so crucial, I feel like, to developing yourself as a human and creating those bonds.
And the cool thing with our personal brick and mortar is you'll be sitting up there and Wheezy and his family will walk up.
Oh, absolutely.
And they'll sit down and have conversations with you too. So it's not like they separate themselves from the customers and their, the patrons of that lounge. They're up there with us, enjoying cigars and having a good time with us,
and developing the relationships.
Yeah. And Wheezy does a great job with that.
Oh, absolutely. So, there's been stories where Wheezy's gone on a vacation or whatever, and he's showing us pictures and telling us stories of that vacation. Yeah. And it's like, we're a part of that vacation at that point in time. We're a part of that family. Yeah. And so, shout out to you, Wheezy, man. We really appreciate you. I know you watch, especially like our TikToks and stuff like that. We appreciate the experiences that you allow and that you give us. And,
we hope that you guys could find a store like that near you guys.
Absolutely.
Because it really makes a difference in your experience.
Yep. It's hard to find a good brick and mortar cigar shop. I've been around the country, looking in these small towns that I typically end up staying. It's hard to find a good one, or one in general.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's one local enough to you that you can get out there and you can develop your own friendships and relationships with these people. Because I tell you what, it doesn't matter what walk of life they come from, whether you're a low guy on the totem pole, a blue collar worker. You could sit next to a celebrity, which has happened with me personally, and you break that social barrier, and you can sit there and have a conversation with and hear about experiences in their life, and you can share experiences in their life, and there's no awkwardness, there's no social disgust between whatever walks of life are intermingling. Everybody's just kind of joined underneath the leaf, and it's incredible. We've talked about it before. When it comes down to the cigar atmosphere, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're from. Everybody sits down and can enjoy a natural premium rolled cigar and just share tales of their life experiences. Side note, I'm a combat veteran, and because there's a base close to us, the majority of the people that go up there are all veterans or combat veterans. And so there's been times where we just sit there and we tell war stories or just, military stories. And my wife will sit there next to me and she won't say a single word. She'll just sit there and listen. And, it's almost like therapy. We can sit there and talk about the stuff, the hard times, the good times, the indifferent. And, we get to just kind of let off some of that steam. And she just gets to sit there and hear about parts of my life or parts of their life that not necessarily I talk about often. And so I think she gets enjoyment out of hearing those aspects of life that she typically doesn't get a chance to. And so I'd say all walks of life, whether it's therapy, whether it's just general conversation, a brick and mortar store, a local lounge allows so many different aspects of life to happen without judgment. Yeah. And I could go on and talking about the relationships that we built, the abilities that I've had in brick and mortars. I just really hope that you guys get to share that opportunity. And if any of you all are ever in the local area, please reach out. I would gladly, if I'm not working, I'd gladly meet up at Wheezy's shop to share a cigar, to talk about, my own personal references to cigars, and gladly go upstairs with any of you to smoke a cigar, share some stories, and hear from you all, because it'd be a blast. That's what we're all about. We're all about building relationships, building a family, and I think it'd just be a blast.
Yeah. Well, buddy,
we've got one more thing to do before we close this out, don't we?
We do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 2024 decanter. I feel like we just talked about this not too long ago.
Yeah.
So we add an ounce of bourbon, whiskey, scotch to this decanter. Our plan is to fill this by the end of the year to start to kick off 2025, taste testing our Infinity bottle. So it gives us the opportunity to make our own blend, to kind of see how everything melds together or contrasts. I mean, it's just kind of wild and random.
But it's the story of our beginnings, and we're going to be able to experience it at the beginning of 2025 with you guys.
Absolutely. So one thing that we are doing is we are slowly developing merchandise to sell. And we already have one decanter sold. It is etched. So I don't know if we want to go into extreme detail on that just yet, but we are working on merchandise. We also have our Glencairn glasses, which are not etched just as of yet. I'm working with our local etcher to have these etched with our Stogies and Broskies logo. So if you all would like this, it will be one-off etches. It'll be one-off sales. We don't have a storefront yet, whether it's local or online. Reach out to us directly, and we can get you these as we develop our merchandising. So we are tirelessly working on trying to incorporate you all into this aspect of our life. And so, again, if you all would like something, please reach out to us and we can work on that with you all.
Well,
until then, like, share, subscribe. We are growing our family slowly but surely. We want to involve your friends, your family into our family. We'd love to hear from you. We get back to you as quick as possible. We make sure that we respond to every message, to every comment, whether it's myself, Ray, or the wives. We do try to make sure that we touch everybody in some way, shape, or form. We want that engagement. It helps us develop out these relationships that we were just talking about.
Exactly. Well, bud.
Until then, ladies and gentlemen, cheers.